Hey guys, Orange Roku here today, coming at you with another video. Today, a bit of a different type of video. I want to discuss what happened today with the live stream with the release of the Overwatch roadmap earlier today, and the very unfortunate news that the PvE component of Overwatch 2 is basically dead, or at least as it was initially presented to us. So with that out of the way, we got asked the question: did Blizzard scam us?
Rick.
Cause every time we live, everybody feeling it. We've got the orange vibe.
Now, before we continue, let me tell you a little bit about myself and why I think my opinion matters. I don't think you're gonna like it though. So let's jump in. So, professionally, outside of YouTube, I work in the gaming industry. To be fair, I'm dealing with advertising, so you can take my opinion with a grain of salt, but I still have somewhat of an interesting take considering my position. Apart from that, when talking specifically about Overwatch, I started playing the game back in 2017 when I just got my then brand new PC. And I fell in love with the game, the characters, the world, the design, but especially the game played, the way the game played. I played it off and on until the release of Overwatch 2, getting around 200 levels on my account. Once Overwatch 2 came out though, it became like my main game and most played the game in recent memory. So much so I started a YouTube channel around it. So let's get to the topic at hand, being Scamwatch 2. Now, let me start off by saying I am very disappointed in the fact that we won't be getting the PvE side of the game. I was actually looking forward to it, wanted to experience the entire thing with friends, and yeah, I really do enjoy co-op games like Vermintide 2, one of my favorites. I'm also very disappointed in the fact that basically PvE is the reason we got Overwatch 2 rebrand in the first place, even though in all fairness, Overwatch 2 did bring us 5v5 and a new engine, which I've grown to appreciate over time. Especially once you play a lot of it and you compare the models, it's, I don't know, it's different, it's better. So the devs coming out and basically saying, yeah, that thing we promised and used to differentiate the need for the 2 in the title, yeah, that's not happening. LOL, here's some skins on discount specially for you. No, that's kind of sucks. It really sucks. But I think, in all fairness, there's some harsh and unwarranted criticism thrown at Team 4, which I'd like to address and maybe provide a different point of view to the general consensus. Now, I can't stress this enough though. Please, guys, my opinion, okay? My opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but please respect it and provide feedback on the topics I touch in the comments below, okay? Be civil. Let's have a civil discussion. Let's not turn into animals, please. And thank you. So let's start off with what I think is an outright lie. They promised us PvE just to bamboozle us into playing Overwatch 2. Okay, this is a part of Scamwatch 2. This is just absurd, I think, on so many levels. It's not even funny that actually humans that can type and access the internet, that they believe this. I am certain, without any inside information, but just as a human being, that not a single person on Team 4 didn't want to make PvE happen for us. Okay, guys, please. I'm working in the gaming industry, and that has taught me that people generally care a lot about what goes into the products that the intended audience consumes, right? We always want to see the player base happy and deliver the best possible experiences as they were envisioned. I 100% believe that the guys at Blizzard did work thousands of man hours on the PvE component of Overwatch 2. From coders to artists and everything in between, there was a lot of work done. But for one reason or another, which is the topic of this video, just did not end up getting used the way it was intended. So please don't believe these conspiracies, as it invalidates a lot of the hard work that was put in by hundreds of people hoping to deliver fun to thousands. Okay, please. Now, opening the topic of what I believe happened here, we need to accept several factors that I deem to be key, okay, when moving forward with my speculation/analysis. So these things you're not going to like and you don't usually consider, but trust me, there are factors in the way that decisions get made. So Overwatch 2 does not exist in a vacuum, okay? For the audience, you playing the games, or the business people driving the business decisions in the game, okay guys? So meaning stuff like what the competition is doing in using, the revenues they're making, the content they're making, how many people that took, all of that matters. Companies in the industry keep tabs on each other. I don't know if you're aware of this. And here we're talking about corporations competing on the open market for investments to drive their business forward, okay? Insane. And the second thing that I want us to agree on is that companies, gaming companies, are businesses, okay? Especially the AAA. Meaning, their job is not to deliver entertainment, you guys. Their goal is to make money by delivering entertainment. That's why, in order to understand decision making, I might put the sentiment of the community and deem what's fair second, as the reality is that the CEOs decide what actually happens to the game. Trust me, they know what we talk about. And what we suggest is that sometimes a boss can say, well, it's not wrong, but we can't do it as there is no profit to be made, but how can we adjust so that it doesn't affect our bottom line? So again, please guys, I'm one of you, I play games, trust me, I'm not sponsored. I wish. I just want to come up with answers to why certain decisions were made. Now that we have those 2 points covered, let's move forward and start. Why even do Overwatch 2 if not for the PvE? That's like one of the main ones, right? And I think actually it's a pretty simple yet not very straightforward answer. Simple one being that Overwatch 1, as we remember it, was simply not as financially successful as we think it was. So let's think about it, okay? So, the game costs $40 at launch. I personally paid full price for it, but at one point the game was going for $10 at the end of its life on discounts. Since then though, I haven't put a single cent into Overwatch 1. Not a single cent, guys. So $40 for what, 6 years? And why would I? So I get all the heroes for free from the get-go. I can earn unlimited loot boxes, and they have a pity timer, mind you. So no matter what, as long as I play, I could realistically earn every single cosmetic in the game, excluding stuff like the Mercy skin that was for some charity, and the Challenger skins for some heroes, like when there were challenges. You could literally earn everything for free after buying box price. Overwatch, in my opinion, to this day, was extremely generous in that regard. And yet, the player base, right, got more or less a live service game and a live service experience without much of the downside of the model, right? You were still earning a lot of skins. We got events, we got unique game modes, we got, most importantly, skins, but we got to play and earn and get them for free. And here you say, but Orange, we paid $40. We're entitled to that. And to this I say, you are correct, kind sir. But at the same time, think about stuff like the financial availability compared to things like COD, which is under the Activision umbrella, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Apex Legends, and all of these other live service games that are free to play, that you are competing with. Even games that you pay a box copy for still have microtransactions and are annual releases. Think FIFA, think 2K games, think again Call of Duty. $60 games coming out annually with microtransactions, and none of your stuff carries over. And you get to buy it all over again, and you get to play it all over again. Now, compare this to 6-year-old Overwatch. Simple and fair loot box system, yeah, I said it. $40 price tag. Simply doesn't compare in terms of financial viability. Simply does not compare. So why make Overwatch 2 in the first place? To bring the live service model up to par with the market conditions. How is that good for us though? How is that good for us? Because you think, oh, we're getting swindled. Yes, but the game and the IP get to live on. I personally think it's a great IP with a lot of character. The gameplay, for me, I have it underlined here in my script, for me, is unmatched in its polish, smoothness, and sheer fun. If they hadn't changed Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2, I think we would have ended up in a Heroes of the Storm situation. A dead game, sure, polished as fuck, but you, the Overwatch fan, will feel abandoned and simply leave after a point. If they hadn't changed it, that's what would have happened. So here is where I actually fully agree with the model change. Battle Pass shop, sure, the game is absolutely free to play friendly. From a gameplay perspective, as long as you play, you are guaranteed every gameplay aspect of the game. Every hero, every mode, every map. You might have to wait a bit for it and play for it, but you get it all for free without having to pay a single cent. There is no barrier of entry anymore. You and all of your broke friends can play together. No more playing paladins. So here I have to give the +1 to Blizzard and not blame them. Thank you for finding a way to keep my favorite game alive. Yes, I am biased. No, I do not care. I like this game. I like the gameplay of this game. I like that it's getting updated. And I get new ways to play. Now, on to the next point. Why promise PvE and then scrap it? So this is the big one. What is the reason for this? Knowing full well that you will face backlash, potentially tarnish the IP you want to keep alive, and even maybe cost yourself millions of copies in sales. Because if it were as if they claim it was a full-fledged co-op experience, not seasonal updates as it will become, I'm understanding that it would have cost something like maybe $60 or something. This is basically what I was thinking about all day. I could have pumped out a video literally 10 minutes after it came out. I randomly stumbled on that article on Reddit, but I'm like, I need to think about this. And I even got the opinion of people in the company, people in game design, people stuff like they do stuff like this, and I came to several possible conclusions, like definitive conclusions. It can be a mix of stuff between the conclusions that I make. It can be a mix of stuff, but those are the extremes of why it might have happened. So number one, it simply was not fun, guys. It simply wasn't fun. It's a very possible scenario. Let's look in Blizzard's graveyard as an example. StarCraft Ghost looked cool, and they scrapped it pretty late into development. Why? From reports, it simply wasn't as fun as they wanted it to be. In the case of Overwatch 2, something that already took so many years and isn't anywhere near shaping up to be the experience they envisioned, from what they say, did they want to invest further into something they don't believe in? My hunch tells me that this isn't exactly what happened. Maybe to an extent, but I think it can be a contender. It is possible. It is very much a possible scenario. Simply it wasn't fun. It's very simple, but sometimes simplest things make the most fun, make the most sense. Just wasn't fun. For all the time that it took, it simply wasn't fun. Now, conclusion number 2. Blizzard got scared of investing further into the concept due to shaky market conditions, guys. What does that mean? Well, remember when I said earlier that we need to accept that gaming companies and games don't exist in a bubble. We're gonna need that here. So basically, look at the current co-op shooters market. How many cases do we have of a successful iteration of the game mechanic, again, in a live service environment? Back 4 Blood, Warhammer 40k Dark Tide, Redfall, all of them co-op shooters, all of them more or less flopped. Big budget games made by experienced developers, right? They all failed to deliver a good and financially successful game. The most successful game in this genre are either games that are smaller in scale, indie offering, something like maybe Deep Rock Galactic, right? Pretty good game, very good game, co-op shooter, nothing wrong with it. 3 characters though, 4 characters. Or older titles with an established player base, made again on a much smaller scale. Think Left 4 Dead, that's a 1,000-year-old game. Vermintide 2, Team Fortress Man vs. Machine. This niche simply is not seen as viable enough in 2023. This does mean though that there was a market opening for Blizzard here, but consider those games again produced by people that made already those types of games in some cases. And is it possible that Blizzard knew that they simply couldn't pull off something like this to be financially viable? Overwatch, think about it like this, Overwatch has 37 heroes. You need to make all of them more or less balanced. Talent trees, okay, needs to be smooth on release, so it needs to be not a buggy fucking mess like those games, because otherwise it's dead. And it's also Blizzard, because at the very least they polish their games, guys. They still polish their games. All of this made by a team with zero experience making a co-op shooter, except for the archive missions, which are brain dead easy. And all of this on a live service model, successfully. Something to make this for years to come. I don't know. Maybe they just lost confidence in this specific type of game. Because PvP always sells. PvP will always sell. But maybe something like this, they didn't have the longevity that they were looking for. Maybe the genre, it's a curse of the genre, I don't know. In any case, now we end up with reason number 3, which I've dubbed the Project Titan effect, okay? So I bet you probably know this already, but Overwatch itself is the mutilated corpse of another Blizzard game, Project Titan. The MMO never came into existence even after 7 years of development. What they had already, they scrapped together and made what we now know as Overwatch, right? Overwatch 2 PvE might have simply been too ambitious and unachievable, guys. Again, I am certain they worked on it. Team 4 did work on this thing since 2017. We even see a similar time frame to Titan, which was developed from 2007 to like 2013-14. If you ask me, because right, 2007, 2013, 2017, 2023. But in any case, it simply wasn't coming to be as it should have. Working in the game industry, I can tell you that this does happen, guys. Like, the complexity of a project increases dramatically to where developing it further will just kill any chance of financial viability. As again, this is all man hours that need to be paid before a product even reaches the consumer. So you've already paid for the product before it even sells it to anyone, right? And it's costly. If what they say is true in the live stream, it was years away from release for a project that was already in development for close to 6-7 years. They simply pulled the plug and took the bullet for it. This is what I think the most likely scenario. The game was simply out of reach. As mentioned in my previous point, 37 heroes right now. Add talent trees. Add making competent AI. Add making all of those heroes being able to work with each other. I can see how it simply wasn't possible. Too many things to tackle, too much complexity to make a satisfying product that's gonna live on for years and years. And now we reach point number 4, which is super malicious and extremely malicious as a reason. Us, the player base, simply played and spent on Overwatch 2 without even needing the PvE. The game was able to attract and sustain players and revenues. Higher ups were like, we don't even need this PvE thing that's sucking up resources. We make above expectation KPIs. What if we use the manpower in the live game instead of investing in this thing that might pay off, might not? We could potentially increase our revenues. Why not do it? Why not? Suddenly, what do you see? We're getting less old skins in the shop. We're getting more events. We're getting cross collaboration events. This is in my opinion the other extremely realistic reason why the PvE got scrapped. Overwatch 2, as it is right now, is simply good enough. It's more than enough. It's more than enough. Instead of it being something like, please be good enough to sustain development until the Rio game comes out, right? It was like, holy crap, this is actually working. It's a bit of the Fortnite effect in a verse, but without one even coming out. So basically, Fortnite Save the World was struggling, right? And they released the Battle Royale to attract people to save the world. But instead, that what was supposed to be a patch turned out to be more successful than the thing that spawned it. And it became just Fortnite. In Overwatch, the PvP was supposed to be the patch until the Rio game came out, right? That's what they pitched to us. Turned out they didn't need the game to begin with, right? The one thing that stings the most for me is if they were actually pulling off the co-op and they did have a fun game cooking, they simply scrapped it. I will reuse whatever. Look at how much money it's already making. That one sucks the most. That one really hits the hardest. That one really hits the hardest. I really hope it's not that one. I really hope it's one of those other reasons. But in the end, what does that mean for us, the people that play Overwatch? Well, there is a bit of a silver lining. So just how the Corpse of Titan gave us Overwatch, I think that all the work that Team 4 did will not go to waste. Like, it shouldn't. I think that we might see like an entirely new type of Overwatch coming in Season 6. Again, I'm really just wishful thinking here, guys. I'm hoping for the best. I'm preparing for the worst, but I'm hoping for the best. But it would be awesome to have like an ongoing story thrown to a live service game. Like Apex is already doing something like this, Apex Legends, with their events and with like the comic strips and everything. But I think the Overwatch team can bring the concept to a whole nother level. Like they're talking cinematics, they're talking stuff like this. So maybe something more in line with like maybe World of Warcraft with cinematics, with specific things happening during the season. It could be fun. It could be fun. This is 6 years of development, guys. I really hope they don't throw it away. And I'm personally trying to be optimistic and look forward to it. Another thing that I'm kind of happy about is that this entire thing was honestly brutally transparent. Like, I feel like the guys at Team 4 could have done a lot worse in terms of communicating this. Like, they literally broke up with us in the best way possible. They were direct and they were straightforward. Guys, we simply cannot deliver. There was no, in an era where we see silent cancellations, we see it's coming, early access 2030, they simply told us, it is not coming. We cannot make it. We will make the best possible game you're playing right now, but we cannot make what we initially promised. It's like literally they came to us, they entered through the door, they looked at us in the eye, and they told us, I shit myself. How do you react to that? I think that's like, it's brutally transparent and I can respect that. And I really want to maintain a positive outlook, guys. There is so much doom and gloom happening nowadays. I really don't want the game that I play for fun to ruin my mood. So I'm trying to be optimistic. I want to believe in the good in people. And I really hope the Team 4 will have something like a fire lit under them. Because like, okay, you canceled it. I will swallow this. I will swallow it very hard. But you have to deliver now. Like, We want frequent balance changes when they are needed. We want to see those 6 years of development put to work on a consistent basis. I want it to be like a fucking gacha game, guys, where there's constantly an event happening. There's constantly something to be earned. Give us, you already have the content made, give us free currency, give us stuff to buy, give us event specific currency to buy specific stuff if we can. Now you have to deliver. You no longer have an excuse to deliver to people the best live service game that they deserve. We will swallow it to the people that will stay playing this game, because I personally love this game. It's the most fun I've had online. You need to deliver now, Blizzard. In any case, thank you so much, guys, for watching this super in-depth analysis. I really hope that I was thorough enough to provide a different outlook on things, and we can have a civil discussion about this. Depending on your feedback, I might do a follow-up video, but until then, enjoy my silly ass grind to GM videos. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Like, share, and subscribe, and peace.
Ain't no time for feeling weak. Every second, a minute of hour, all days of the week. Cause every time we live, everybody feeling it. We've got the orange vibe. Ain't